Hello, hello. All right, guys, this is going to be a singles storyline. Now, this is the one that I'm doing kind of like in preparation for the actual Lionsgate portal that happens on 8/8. So this is coming out a little bit early just because I do singles reads on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So this is our last singles read before Lionsgate, which happens on Tuesday. Okay, so with that in mind, I have a lot of watchers that are in other places in the world and other time zones. So I'm actually glad to put this singles one out in advance of Lionsgate, simply because I don't want it to come out late for those who live a day ahead. So here we go. Let's go ahead and see how is the actual crossing of the Lionsgate threshold possibly influencing the energy flow for our singles. Now, I'm going to use the same format that I've used for the different zodiacs. By the way, they're not all done yet. All the other zodiacs, I think I still have 5 more to do. Those will be out tomorrow, okay? But I've done 7 of them already today. So just FYI, if you are looking for a specific zodiac, a bunch of them have already been done. And these aren't really... I will say the specific zodiac storytellings, they are not really about romance. They could easily apply to any single individual as well for all 7 that I've done so far. So just bear that in mind if you want to check out your other placements or something. Here we go. We are starting with the energy of Aries. So our single energy, we've got the energy around them is dynamic, spontaneous, crusading, impulsive action is likely. We've got bold. We've got brave. We've got, like, I would say that our single character here wants to take a hold of anything and everything in their life that they've decided is important, anything that they want to experience, anything that they want to pursue. They're going to go ahead and say, you know what? The time is now. You know what? This life belongs to me. I want to go ahead and I want to do something that matters to me. And this could be something simple. This is like, I have wanted to learn how to make croissants my whole life. I'm doing it. This Sunday, right now, I'm going to go ahead and start making croissants. By the way, I've made those before. It takes a lot of time. It's not a one-day process. It's a lot of butter too. Sorry, that's just a side note. The fact that this is such dynamic energy, though, this is not something simple like that. It's not somebody making a recipe. This is somebody who is most likely going to put themselves a little bit to the test. They're going to push themselves a little bit, but it's something joyful. It's something that it's not like, oh man, I'm going to make myself do this. I don't really want to. No, this is something a character really has some passion for. It does seem like they're going to just shock other people by one day just jumping up and doing it. But it's probably not something, fish. This could be about finances. This could be about business. Oftentimes, this is a big payout. This could be a character is suddenly going to say, you know what? I've been thinking about having some side hustle for a while. And all of a sudden, they wake up. Maybe this is on the 8/8 portal, and they go, I'm finally going to do it. Maybe it's like something that they could sell for a lot of money. Maybe it's an item that they've thought about selling, and then finally they just say, I'm going to do it. And sure enough, it's a good time to sell it, and they make a lot of money off of it. Or it's a craft or something that they can create. And they sit down one day and they make 35 of these. I don't know, maybe they're painting like fish or something, some kind of crafty item, and they post them for sale, and guess what? 30 out of the 35 sell, and it's a big chunk of money, and everybody's like, whoa, how did you do that so fast? This is something that our single individual has thought about for a while. It only is going to look fast to everybody around them. This is an idea they've had for some period of time, but it does create some lovely kind of payout. Now, keep in mind, payout doesn't always have to be money. It could be satisfaction. It could be anything that we consider abundance. Clouds. This is where there's clarity after having clouded thoughts. There's a silver lining to a seeming storm. This could be like, say this is a storyline where our character impulsively decides, I'm finally going to clean out those couple of items that are in my garage, taking up space. I really like them, but honestly, I'm never going to use them. Let me go ahead and hawk them, take them down to the pawn shop or sell them or something. And it turns out it makes a ton of money. And they're like, you know what? Although it sucks to have gotten rid of those items because, I had an attachment to those things. At the same time, now I got more space in my garage and I got a ton of money in my bank. Okay, there's a silver lining. Is there a little bit of bittersweet? Sure. But it could also be that there's always a cost, right? Say this is instead the storyline where somebody says, no, I'm going to, create some side hustle. I'm going to spend some time and make this craft and then put them up for sale and make the money off of my craft. Well, guess what? That's an investment of time. And it's like, well, instead of going out and, going to the lake with my friends this Sunday, I stayed home and worked. But you know what? The payoff was I made some money today and I made it doing something that I love. This is like looking at the silver lining to every situation. Oh, and we have the heart. Definitely something deeply satisfying. This, whatever our character is doing, it's going to, they're doing it for the right reason. They're either doing something that they do genuinely love and that'll create the payoff, or their motive for selling something or doing something is because they're doing it for love. This could be an act of service that somebody is going to do for another person, or they're going to spend they're going to first earn money to then turn around and spend it on someone that they love. They're doing this out of an act of kindness. Now, this also could talk about a completely different situation. Remember, on that Aries energy, that's the energy that our single character is walking through the threshold with. It says that the energy is dynamic and spontaneous. It's crusading, impulsive, and that impulsive action is likely. This could actually talk about our character is going to do more than one thing on this day. They may take impulsive action to create a, more financial success for themselves, but likewise, they may take impulsive action towards something that their heart really wants, and it could be a romantic endeavor. This could be a character who's suddenly going to ask somebody out. They might shock themselves and be like, I can't believe I just asked this person out. If someone had asked me 2 days ago, would I have done that? No, but for some reason, this whole Lionsgate portal is making me feel pretty bold. It's making me feel like I want to do this. By the way, this is like so beautiful. This could be somebody is making a piece of jewelry or has a piece of jewelry that's similar to this, like a gold filigree background with a red heart on it. We got a 9 of Cups. We got the Tower. I'm telling you, everything is changing for our single character. They are all about going after their happiness. And I'm going to say, I think that our single character hasn't made impulsive decisions like this in a long time for themselves. Or they're like, what would really make me happy? This. I really want to ask somebody out. I want to be bold enough to do that. I really want to go ahead and make some more money. I really want to go ahead and clear out my garage. I really want to go ahead and make those changes. So why don't I do it? This could be somebody they've got a collection of like really beautiful, look at these glasses. I absolutely love all of them. Somebody could have a collection of expensive glasses and things like that. And they're like, yeah, but owning the glasses doesn't really bring me the joy that selling them and using that money for something else would. This feels like somebody who's lessening their attachment to stuff and is more invested now in things that will fulfill them and their heart space. Owning something might bring them great joy, but this actually says not so much. This says the things that they possess are a vehicle to giving them more freedom. And so they're actually able to, like, if this is somebody who's selling off a collection of, high-end glasses or something like that, and it's going to make them money, they're actually going to be joyful in the fact that they're like, awesome, another person bought my fancy, red and gold, filigree glass that I really didn't want to part ways with. But now that somebody's so excited to be owning it and I'm going to get the money for it, it actually turns out to be a nice energy exchange. They get the item that now brings them joy. And meanwhile, I know it goes to a good home. So I'm happy for that item that once upon a time was important to me, but I also just made the money. And this is going to give me more freedom. This is somebody who's changing their perception on what stuff is for. Is it the stuff that gives us joy, or is it the fact that the stuff represents an item of commerce, an item of exchange? We can exchange stuff for like lightening our load, and that could make us happy. Or we can exchange stuff for another form of currency that in turn can give us greater freedom. So again, that makes us happy. It's a different relationship to have with stuff. And it's all about happiness and freedom. And it's interesting how the very vehicle to happiness and freedom might come from exchange of stuff or money or currency, but it's the perspective shift that our character is having in regards to all of this. It's making them less attached to things and more Girl of Cups is here. Our character wants to have emotional satisfaction. That's as they walk across this threshold and into the Lionsgate portal, what they're recognizing is, you know what I really want more than anything? I want joy in my life. I don't want to be owned by stuff. Maybe I want more joy for my children. Maybe that is what my joy is watching my kiddos be happy. And so, you know, if I sell something to get the gas money to go take them to the day at the beach, that is going to be worth it way more. The memories I'll make that day are going to be more important to me than my fancy, you know, glassware that I used to hold on to and treasure. It's just looking at things differently. I would argue, because I don't think it's quite that specific. I think that this is more along the lines of our lead character is, they've been very freed from, they're not somebody who's in a rut. They're not somebody who's super attached to things. That's why they have an easy way of just saying, I'm just going to let this go. I think they might make impulsive decisions, but it's because it's not like impulsive because they just are like unable to be stable. They're impulsively releasing things that they go, in even 10 days, is this going to matter to me whether I have this or don't have this? No. But will it actually open up doorways for me to have greater emotional satisfaction? Yes. Okay, then let me let some stuff go. Let me go ahead and make the changes that I need to so that I can bring in greater satisfaction. This is really, our single character is exchanging what's important to them, or what used to be important to them, versus what truly has value to them. And what truly has value is love, happiness, emotions, Nine of Discs, that's where their wealth is. It's so interesting because I think releasing their grasp on something tangible of value is not, they're doing it for the right reason. And what's ironic is the more they release their grasp on something tangible in order to have, you know, that payoff where it's like, no, I'd rather have emotional satisfaction than own a bunch of stuff. So funny because it looks like they're going to actually attract more wealth into their life. This Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Discs can be more finances coming their way. So it's really ironic that opening up their mindset, looking at money and items not as the end goal, but rather happiness as the end goal, and makes them care less about money, and their relationship with finances maybe becomes a little bit more relaxed instead of this highly pressured thing. And that in turn makes it kind of flow easier into their life. So it's kind of ironic that releasing some intensity surrounding the topic of abundance actually brings more abundance into them. And I keep wanting to make the note, I'm not really thinking that this is specifically about money as much as it is about abundance. Abundance to me is the things that give us satisfaction. And that can be, let's change this a little bit and say, maybe this whole story is about a single person who's changing their concept of what happiness looks like with another person. Not necessarily even romance, but what does a healthy, happy relationship look like? Well, instead of thinking that I need to have a romance where every one of my boxes is checked, maybe instead I just say, you know what, I'm just going to chill out. And if there's somebody that I'm going to enjoy the company of, I'm just going to let myself enjoy their company and just see where it goes. Even if it doesn't go much of anywhere, still I'll have had a really nice time with that person. I'll have, enjoyed an afternoon with them, had a few laughs, and that's okay too. This is like really releasing any intense obligation or high expectation. But interestingly enough, that is actually that very person that our single character might just enjoy the company of someone that they really didn't expect to. This is more like a spontaneous, sure, I'll go out with you. Why don't we just sit down and have a cup of coffee? I'm free today. It turns out to be not only an enjoyable moment, but it could actually end up being something that this person, we start to build a real relationship with. We actually have formed some kind of a bond. Everything is actually more aligned. We learn that there's a lot more about this person that we really like. They admire us. vice versa, and we keep building with someone, and it becomes more emotionally satisfying, all because we didn't really have the precise expectation of how it needed to go, but we relaxed more into whatever is being presented to me. I'm going to accept it. This is going to be fun. I'm going to let this be what it is. Is there any more direct message on this? Because this still feels very, very broad to me, which is good for a threshold moment like that, because we're really talking about what energy are we going to manifest with. Chariot, Cancerian. This is all about moving forward, but we have surprises in here because we have 3 horses, not 2, which normally we only have 2 pulling a chariot, and one of those horses is the dark horse, which I absolutely love because it says the unexpected. Who would have thunk? Who would have thought that we would move forward like this? Who would have expected that? It's a wonderful sense of balance, a wonderful sense of positive motion forward. We're not stuck in any preconceived notion of how anything has to go. And we're able to find better balance with our relationship, like I say, with anything in our life, our relationship with finances, our relationship with other people, our relationship with the idea of love, whatever this is, it's a bit of a surprise that things flow more naturally for our lead character, all because they go ahead and they maybe listen to their impulsive self that says, relax, have some fun, don't stress out too much, let things unveil themselves. There will probably be a silver lining to everything. Just go ahead and roll with it and then enjoy what there is to enjoy about the choice you just made. Turns out it's a nice surprise because relaxing like this is actually bringing more joy in. Not having preconceived notions of every step of how everything needs to go is actually bringing about a much more satisfying lifestyle for our character. Again, it doesn't mean that they suddenly don't care at all about what happens in their life. They simply aren't trying to oversteer everything. That's what I'll say. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you do enjoy the channel, please give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. I know this one was pretty abstract. Kind of expected it to be, though, just because it's a Lionsgate portal. I was hoping it wouldn't be like precise about one particular topic, because ideally it's about energy flow. It's about what's possible. It's about how we change and evolve and expand our concept of energy, and then we start to look at the specifics of what can we do with that energetic shift. So I kind of liked this one. All right, you guys, take care. Bye.